Okay, it's cold and rainy. There's flash flood warnings. So I'm gonna come out here and check on the fish. I'm just wearing shorts and boots. As you can see, our yard needs some swales because we have places that collect a lot of water. For example, this would be a perfect place for a pond. So it's going to be a little dark in here, so unfortunately you're going to have to bear with the darkness. And it's actually not too cold, but it is raining fairly hard. I'm getting pretty moist right now. So it looks like, I don't know, plus 10-ish, plus 10-ish C, 40, 50, 58 degrees. So it's a beautiful day. As you can see, I collect a lot of water right here. Oh, the geese are flying south for the winter, I hope. I don't know if you saw that. Okay, so now we're going into, hopefully, a warm and dry greenhouse since I've put up the north roof panels. It's going to be a little dark in here, but here we are. Everything is surviving, no major drips. Here's the banana plant. And okay, so these are some microgreens that I replanted. This is the second batch in this container. Here's the, these are the saffron plants right here that are starting to take over. And of course, there's another bed that was planted over there with some more microgreens. I actually haven't been in here in a couple of days. Oh, we've got a little drip over here, so that's some places I need to patch up there. But of course, you know, this is a greenhouse. It's not supposed to be a house, so no worries. Now, for some reason, the flashlight is not on, so it's going to be a little dark in here. Sorry about that. And this is another microgreen bed that was planted. This is my mushroom bed. I actually got a mushroom, and it looks like I'm getting some more mushrooms over here because there's something popping up. So yay! The mushroom bed looks like it's going to start producing. And I can smell mushrooms in there. So I'm going to put this little stick in here and make a little tent. Sorry about that. I'm going to have to crop my phone up for a second. And now we're going to give them a little bit more space. I just got a little stick here that I stick in the ground and makes a little kind of like tent-like structure. But over here, on this end over here, which is going to be hard to see in the low light, there's a bulge, which means there's a mushroom popping out of there. And in fact, I'm feeling bulges in a lot of places, which seems to indicate that there's going to be a lot of mushrooms coming out of this very, very shortly. These are wine cap mushrooms. Now we're getting into the lighter end of the greenhouse. There's a little more light. There's another grow bed. This one has the mulberry bush. And of course, this was a harvested microgreen. So what I've been doing is I've been harvesting the microgreens for salads. I've been getting out basically a salad a day for myself. And then what I do is I replant it and start all over again. Now, as you can see, the floor is wet here because I have a leak up here in this north ceiling, but for all intents and purposes, not much of a problem. Now, this is a new worm composting system. It's actually a black soldier fly composting system. It works for both. And right now, since I was running out of room in the banana tree for my compost, I started adding the compost into this big worm bin. Sorry that it's so hard to see. But basically, it looks like the worms are munching away. It's starting to turn dark. And that's how I know that the worms are working, because they'll turn all that compost and paper into beautiful beautiful soil that of course we put out in the garden outside. So I keep this covered up and I put it here in the back so the worms are warm. And of course when it's in the sun, I've got this cover here that keeps it also from getting too hot in there. The worms like to stay around 70 degrees or so. They're kind of like us. So this is the straw pile. There's a bunch of straw and equipment that I need to clean up. Here's the other grow bed. And as you can see, the saffron plants are shooting up all over the place. And they'll probably spread everywhere. Like right here, this used to be one plant that's now putting out 3 shoots. This is the avocado tree that's not doing much, but it's green, so I assume it's surviving. And this bed has pretty much been harvested, so what's left are just the ones that I couldn't get to. But as you can see, these little saffron plants are putting out runners, and they're spreading all over this grow bed. You know, so that's really good news. There's another grow bed that I planted that's starting to sprout. I basically just throw the seeds in there and not really give much of a shit about it. This is the fish tank. Of course, you can't see much, but they're in there. They seem happy. At least I can't tell right now. And I see no fish floating, which is always a good sign, because floating fish means you have a problem. Now, I stopped testing all of my water parameters because basically when the plants are healthy and, you know, everything looks good, every time I tested, the water was always perfect. So I figured, why spend my time testing? And you can also tell when the fish start running around erratically or swimming around erratically that there's a problem. And it's kind of weird when you know that everything is dialed in. You can just feel sort of like the zen of the system. And as you can see, these tapestries I put up to remind me of nature in this artificial nature that I have. Anyways, that's all I have for now. I thought I'd do another video. Oh, let's check out the temperature here. And here the temperature is roughly what it is outside. Not surprising, it's been cold for a few days. So we're at about close to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. And it looks about 15 degrees Celsius. And that's pretty much all I have for you guys. I hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday. And, you know, here's to wishing you and yours a very Merry Christmas from my little oasis in the backyard. You guys have a great day.